What's up? Welcome back to another YouTube video here on the FanTC Podcast Network YouTube page. My name is Kody. I will be taking you through day 3 of our 45 days of mock drafts. We have a little bit of a different format here. We're going to go 2 QB. I'm actually in a 2 QB league, so this will help me personally get ready for my draft. But let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to go ahead and do a random number real quick between 1 and 12. All right, we got 10. So this actually works out perfect. Gets us to the back of the draft. We've basically picked at the front or near the front in basically all of them. So let's go ahead and jump in here. And chime is off. Cool. Let's get it started. Sorry, everyone wants their few seconds of fame, even Asher, so my apologies there. Obviously, no surprise here. Basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is top 7 quarterbacks off the board within the first 9 picks, first 8, really. What this does for us here at the turn, it gives us a little bit of a choice. Now, do we want to reach on a quarterback that is, I'd say Trevor Lawrence isn't really a reach because he would be the next quarterback up, but do we want to reach on a guy if we pass on Trevor Lawrence right now to get like a Christian McCaffrey? Like this is where 2 QB is very tricky and very difficult and kind of finicky to work out. We'll see how this plays actually, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit newer to the 2 QB, so I'm kind of learning along as I do this video. So let's jump. I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey and let's see how it kind of turns out at the turn here. I imagine Trevor Lawrence is gonna get taken. Exactly. So now at this point, I really don't feel comfortable enough like just jumping on Deshaun Watson here. There's too much talent at other positions on the board, too many other players that are week winning players for me to jump on a quarterback that could be an absolute bust this season. So I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. This gives me a potential RB1, a potential wide receiver one. I love building that stack right off the bat. Really, again, all it's going to come down to is how lucky can we get at the quarterback position. Now, right now, we'll see what happens. I would love Tua. I'll stack Tua with Tyreek Hill all day. It gave me the opportunity to. There's no doubt about it. We're definitely doing it. God damn, man. He is just a fucking problem. All right, we're back into it. So we got Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill. We now got our QB1 and Tua. I think I'm okay going with another position player here. I like Devontae. I like DK. But I think Ramondre Stevenson would be easily in a tier above them if I'm doing my tier rankings and comparing running backs to wide receivers. So we're going to have a monster of a running back core to start with CMC and Ramondre Stevenson. Again, we're in a position here where I don't think as many quarterbacks are going to get taken off the board. So let's see how this ends. Okay, so we made it basically a full round and a half, a little over a round and a half without a quarterback being taken off the board. Again, in this situation, what I'm looking at is how far am I willing to go down to my QB2? My kind of do I feel like I need to be relying on a guy like an Aaron Rodgers who could have a resurgent season? Do I believe in Daniel Jones enough? Not really. Anthony Richardson's kind of the ultimate QB2 because he could probably win you a week, but he's probably not going to be consistent throughout the entire season. I don't, I don't know if you guys can hear that in the video or not, but he is just destroying that desk over there. I'll be right back. All right, not ideal, but I did not want to have all that scratching in the background of the video. So let's go ahead and jump back in here. Okay, so again, no quarterbacks taken. Let's see where are we at. Drake London, I don't love. Damian Pierce isn't terrible. Like the wide receivers here, I have not drafted Drake London at all. I don't know if I'm really that comfortable with him being my wide receiver too. Like there's a guy. Treylon Burks, I've drafted a bunch, but I would be much more comfortable with him. Christian Kirk, Chris Godwin, a lot of guys that I'll get on the other end of this turn. Man, Miles Sanders just smacking me in the face yet again with Miles Sanders, man. You know how much I love to draft him. Tight end, where we at? Goddard. Wouldn't mind Goddard either. We're gonna do it. I know I'm doing it a lot, and I'm probably gonna get some slack at some point from my Miles Sanders love, but I'm gonna draft him any chance I can in real life, and I think that that's how you should do these mocks. So now, again, I have solidified my running back core: CMC, Ramondre Stevenson, and Miles Sanders. I am ecstatic with that. In this position, I mean, again, you got to play ADP. I love Traylon Burks, but I think I can get him next round. Next time around, Drake London's still up there. Christian Watson. Don't love Christian Watson this year. Haven't had enough positive news coming out. Chris Godwin, JSN, Christian Kirk. Give me Christian Kirk, man. I know all the love is for Calvin Ridley, and he's had some positive news come out, but Christian Kirk was that guy last year, and he was a pretty good wide receiver too when he was on the Cardinals before he went over to the Jags. So I think he could just be solid in general. You could definitely tell there's definitely a clear drop off from quarterback. All right, so again, we're not really in too worried about the quarterback position still. We've been lucky enough to have multiple kind of keep dropping. Um, right now, when I'm looking at my wide receiver room, I have Tyreek Hill and Christian Kirk. Both Tyreek Hill for sure is going to be a volume monster. Christian Kirk, I think, definitely can be. So what I'm looking at here, I don't mind either of the Pittsburgh wide receivers because it is 2 QB, and I could stack one of them with Kenny Pickett and potentially see a year two breakout. If I'm going to go that turn, I think I go George Pickens. God damn it. I probably shouldn't say that. Damn. Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett, I still like. Kadarius Toney's down here. I think that's what I'm going to do. A little bit outside the box. I can get him around the turn. Any running backs just completely sticking out? Not really. I mean, Alvin Kamara could, just with the length of his suspension getting shortened. Let's try it out. I'm going to go Pickens. Deontay, okay. And then we're able to go ahead and just snag up Kadarius Toney also. So now I'm feeling comfortable with both my running back and wide receiver rooms. Obviously, filling up the bench, still got plenty of space there. But George Pickens, Kadarius Toney, Christian Kirk, Tyreek Hill, not overly upset with that being my wide receiver room. Okay, quarterbacks galore. We got to just go with our guy here, Matthew Stafford, our late round guy. Oh man, just imagine having. Still need that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go Matthew Stafford. I just have not heard enough positive news about Kyler Murray coming out for me to draft him yet. Um, would I? Absolutely. If there's some positive news about him coming back, especially in 2 QB leagues, if he's only going to miss 4 to 6 weeks or so, I would 100% consider it. These wide receivers here, Rashad Bateman, don't hate. Zay Flowers, I like a lot as a rookie wide receiver if you want to draft one to break out. Got a long wait before our next pick, so there's really no reach in here. What about tight end? Who we got still available there? Dalton Schultz. Oh, we'll get the guy. We'll get Chig Okonkwo. I'm happy with that. Like Chig is my tight end. If I do draft Chig, I probably do draft another potential guy later in drafts, but it just depends on how your league plays tight ends. I mean, if you feel like you need to have two on your roster because people will hold two, then maybe draft another one. But I'd be okay with just bringing Chig in as the only tight end on my roster. I mean, I'd give him a couple weeks to see if the breakout's going to happen. So, like, I'm not going to switch out a Chig for a Tyler Higbee unless Higbee's having a stretch that, like he did at some point last year. All right. So none of the wide receivers I really wanted made it back to me. That kind of stinks. So 4 bench spots. We have our quarterbacks. Okay. Jacoby Myers can be interesting, but I'm not really in love with Jacoby Myers. I also do get another pick in just a couple. Where are we at here? Not really loving any too much of these guys either. Where are we at quarterback wise? You know, I mean, he's probably yeah. I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and just snag myself Kenny Pickett. We don't know really what Matthew Stafford's going to look like this year, and with that elbow injury, also gives me the chance to stack him with George Pickens. So I'm content with that, and then I'm going to go ahead and draft my chief, Sky Moore. Oh, I already got Kadarius Toney. Damn, that's a bad pick. I forgot I already drafted him earlier. Oh well. Oh well, it doesn't matter too much. I mean, the guy I'm looking for now is Romeo Dobbs. Let's see if he can fall. He does. That's an easy selection for Romeo Dobbs. He's been the guy out of Packers camp to get the hype. And now that we've loaded on a bunch of wide receivers, let's go get ourselves a running back. And good old Jeff Wilson is still just hanging out there. Someone's going to be the running back in Miami. Eventually, someone's going to have to break through. I'd assume Jeff Wilson will have value. If not, he's an easy drop piece, which, really what I want with my last pick is I want someone who's going to show me something in week one or potentially show me nothing, and I'm going to be comfortable cutting them. And I think Jeff Wilson fits right in that description. So let's see how the team work panned out. We got Tua, Matthew Stafford, and Kenny Pickett as our 3 quarterbacks in a 2 QB league. That's definitely going to be a weakness of our team. Hopefully, we built a strong enough team around the weaker quarterback position to make up for it. We have CMC, Ramondre Stevenson, Miles Sanders, and Jeff Wilson as our running backs. Obviously, loaded up early, gave us the opportunity to punt on the running back position and just let me shotgun wide receiver. That's clearly the strength of our team. Tyreek Hill, Christian Kirk, George Pickens, Kadarius, Tony Skymore, Romeo Dobbs in the wide receiver room. Love all of those guys this year. Obviously, doubled up on Chiefs. I probably wouldn't do that in a real draft, but accidentally did. I do like drafting a Chief or 2 late in general, just because there's a chance one of them is that guy. We haven't really heard too much about Rashee Rice. I think Sky Moore's been getting a little bit of love. Kadarius Toney's gotten a lot of love over the offseason, so I think he could definitely bring some value. But yeah, that's what our 2 QB team is looking like. Obviously, Chig rocking in the tight end position. We'll see what happens with him. Um, a lot of these guys, a lot of these teams, when the AI just drafts multiple tight ends, and it just makes no sense to me because it pushes value obviously down the board for me. But like, you have Travis Kelce, and then you're going to draft Dalton Kincaid. Like, how good does Kincaid have to be at some point for you to play him over Travis Kelce? It's just that kind of logic in the AI. I think Sleeper can work on just a little bit, but that is it. That'll wrap up day 3 of our 45 days of mock drafts. Thanks for checking it out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with friends and family, all that kind of good stuff. Peace out.